right, Logan Paul. Logan Paul's got a story out, and I gotta tell you, I gotta fully admit this. I didn't read the story. I only saw the headline, but it's the headline that has confused me from the beginning of time, from the beginning of my fandom in this sport until now. This is the headline. So Logan was telling a story that he went over Dana White's head to try to book the Conor McGregor fight. That he went to Ari Emanuel, and the fight was expected to pay both Logan and Conor $250 million. It was going to be a $500 million purse for this fight. So the fight never happens, and Logan's got this story about this, this $500 million fight. And I've got no problem with somebody telling a story. I got no problem with somebody going out and telling the world's biggest lie. I mean, I really do not. If you're coming from an entertainment standpoint, I remember the first day my fourth grade class got taken to the library. They sat us down in the library and said, there's only two kinds of books, fiction and nonfiction. Fiction is not true. Nonfiction is truth. And I only say that because you want to talk about misinformation or disinformation or wrong information. I don't look at it that way. You've got fiction stories and you have nonfiction stories. You have stories that are accurate and stories that just aren't accurate. I don't have a problem with it. I do have a problem if Logan believes it. And most people do. I hear so many people from the fight world come and talk about crazy numbers that come into boxing. But they're made up. They're not true. And I always find that interesting. I find that interesting that these stories stick around. And it's always the same way, by the way. Like the highest paid boxer in the world is Mike Tyson. Oh, by the way, and now he's broke. The highest paid boxer in the world is Floyd Mayweather. Oh, by the way, he just filed for bankruptcy. Like it's always the same story. And I just never know how it gets out in the first place. Like what part of Logan or anybody else would think that he's going to get a $250 million check to box Conor McGregor? It wouldn't matter what he did with Conor McGregor. I mean, anything you want to do. You want to play golf? You want to play tennis? In this case, they wanted to box. It wouldn't make any difference. There's not a company out there that is paying $250 million to see that. But whenever you have this great lie, it always comes to boxing. Well, if we boxed, we could get that. So, okay, you think there's big money in boxing? Is that what you think? Okay. Will you admit that there's more money in tennis? Will you admit that there's more money in golf? Will you admit that there's more money in NASCAR? Will you admit there's more money in polo? Like, I don't really care what sport you agree to, but concede to me that boxing is not the highest paying sport on God's earth. Concede to me somewhere that you understand that there are sports that pay better than boxing. Great. Now, once we establish what that sport is, if we take the two of you that have no experience whatsoever, so what difference does it make? You're not boxers, so what difference would it make if we put you in NASCARs? What difference does it make if we put you behind golf rackets or tennis rackets or golf clubs? Like, what difference does it make? You're not boxers. So if you're not tennis players and tennis pays more, then just on logic alone, you should be able to get that same $250 million to play tennis. If we've established that tennis pays more and we established that neither one of you knows what you're doing, then we can agree that you would get paid more to play tennis. And of course that just sounds silly, right? Like it just sounds ridiculous as I say it. And the only thing that you never hear when you hear these lies about boxing, and they're constant lies, but the only thing that you don't hear when you hear about the lie is the playboy that wrote the check. If Jake Paul or Logan Paul is going to get $250 million, somebody's writing that check. That's the guy that would be in front of the camera. That's the guy that would be getting the focus and the attention. That's the guy that would be sitting in the front row with his wife on one side and his mistress on the other, and his two security guards flanking them. That's the guy that for sure would get into the ring during the national anthem and get back into the ring when they're doing the presentation of the belt. There is nobody whose ego is so in check that they would write a $250 million check and not get camera time. That human has never been born. But in the great caper of boxing, in the great fairy tale of boxing lies, it's the one that they've never covered for that. And it would seem like a pretty simple cover. Like, you're claiming that you got a check. Okay, well, if you're willing to lie about that, why don't you just pick one more character in the story and claim that he wrote the check? Like, we never met the cashier at the bank in the history of ever that was there when the boxer brought in the multi-million-dollar check. Like, that part of the story gets left out because the story's a lie.